too. But so in the morning, how I usually start my spiritual daily routine to help me stay centered is I definitely am a coffee drinker. I love coffee, girl. Don't take anything, take it whatever you want, but don't take my coffee. Like I love
I
my coffee so
know.
much. That
I
is my
love it
Southern roots in
too.
me.
I do too. I think it just overstimulates my adrenals
It does. It does.
like to the next level. So I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, it's so
It does.
sad. So
Listen though.
sad.
And there's other alternatives. There's
Yeah.
other things that you can do.
Yeah.
But I usually start with that. I really try to keep myself quiet when I wake up.
Mm.
So as my coffee is brewing, I usually light my candles. I light an incense. I turn on soft music. Sometimes I turn soft music on, sometimes I don't, but I definitely light my candles and my incense. And then I will sit on the couch and just wrap myself up in my blanket with my dog. And then when my coffee's ready, I sit there and I do a mindfulness practice. And so this is my morning thing every day. I have a coffee mindfulness
Mm-hmm.
practice where I sit with my cup of coffee and I just connect in with the five senses. And it almost feels like all the engines are turning on, like I'm preparing my vehicle for the day. It's like,
Yeah.
how's the scent, working today? How is the taste? How is the vision? What do I see? What do I feel? And it just helps me be really awake and present to my life. I notice that if
Mm.
I start out that way, I'm so much more grounded because I have such a strong mental body.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't bring awareness to my physical body, sometimes I have a hard time grounding myself. I feel almost like a dreamy, kind of almost like a dream state. So, and then I get caught in my thoughts of the past and the future.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get in my to-dos list and I start organizing my work because I'm a worker bee. So that is so important for me to help me get out, to not automatically go into that mental body, but to get into my physical and to really embrace my life,
Mm-hmm.
being here in this body and being with my dog and being with the coffee and being with the smells and the senses and the sounds and just really tuning into the present moment. It's such a powerful practice. And
Absolutely.
I'll focus on the breath as well, which it really helps me ground, just breathing in the nose and out of the mouth and just being, it's so simple and so powerful every time.
So
It always
powerful.
blows my mind kind of. I'm like, how come a breath practice? The
Well, it's
foundation
just
meditation can be
human.
so powerful, but it
It's
is,
just
and it's so
human nature to
simple.
make everything
Like, are
so
you breathing,
complicated.
people? Are you breathing? So because it's like we are, but we aren't, we hold our breath
Mm-hmm.
and we breathe
Mm-hmm.
fast. And so bringing that attention every morning and starting my day off with my breath and mindfulness practice is central to my
Mm-hmm.
day.
Yep, me too.
Um, from there, I usually go into my yoga practice. And I'm not a yoga instructor, so don't look to me as an expert. This is just something I've been doing for years that helps me. I feel that yoga is a form of sacred geometry. And
Mm.
so I use yoga to help me balance the energies of my body and to set intention. And instead of following someone else's practice, which I did for years, I'd follow other people. What I decided to do was listen to my body. And I said, okay, where does my body need to stretch more or to have less pain? So I created like a 45-minute practice that just focuses on my body. So I usually focus on my hip flexors. I have a tilted pelvis. So I get a lot of lower back pain
Mm-hmm.
and hip and knee. And when I started creating my own practice for that, I don't have any hip pain and I don't have any knee pain. And I was a runner for years.
Yeah, that's amazing.
But it was because I was tight in my hip flexors and my lower back. So I focus on a lot of like stretching, twisting, hip area, core area kinds of practices. And that
Mm.
has been awesome. I noticed that after I do my yoga, and oh, I forgot to mention, before I do my yoga practice, I always create sacred space
Mm.
because I feel like my yoga practice is a sacred area and my mat is sacred. That space turns from a yoga practice to a meditation and journaling and channeling.
Yeah.
So I create sacred space before I do yoga. And then I use essential oils, and I will use essential oils on my mat every day.
Do
So
you
I
have a
pick,
favorite that you use?
I love frankincense.
Mm.
I usually use frankincense, lavender, and lemon. Those are my go-tos. They're not necessarily my favorite essential oils, but it seems like if I use those on my mat, it's a perfect balance of getting my energy, of helping me feel that vitality and energy for my practice, and yet grounding. That frankincense helps me ground and yet connect
Yeah.
to spirit. And the lemon helps like
Awaken.
energize, awaken. If I'm going through a lot of stress in my life at that time, there's a lot of things going on. Sometimes I'll use lavender, but most of the time it's like frankincense and lemon. I noticed.
I feel like I should try to get into that. Like, that's a good way of seeing it, is like the yoga and the stretching and like bringing that into like a sense of sacred space. Cause every time I've tried yoga, I just get so bored. I'm
Well,
like,
and the energy
when is this
shifted
going
with
to be
yoga.
over?
Yeah, and then this is what bugs me. And I love yoga,
Yeah.
but I feel like people have taken this ancient wisdom and they've made it so focused, so body conscious, where people are trying to lose weight or they're having or it's very competitive. Sometimes the energy in the room's competitive, or
Yeah.
um and I feel like the energy focus has shifted. It's like yoga was meant to balance the body, to
Mm.
bring healing, rejuvenation, and balance to the body. Yoga means union between body, mind, and spirit. And so what I love about doing it in my practice, I ask my body, what do you want? And
I'm
I
going
don't
to try
follow
that.
like an instructor. I just like, what do you need? What am I feeling into with my body? Like, where do I
Right.
need to stretch and move? Sometimes I will move my body and dance as well, but I just really try to tune into what does my body need today? And that
Yeah.
changes it. Like, then it becomes pleasurable. It's not like this something you got to
You're like,
push through and get through
when's
the
the time
class.
going to
Oh
be
my
done?
gosh, how much longer? How many more sun salutations? So it's like, how many more chaturangas? But it's like, if you're doing it on your own, you're like, I don't feel like I need chaturanga today. I feel like I need one more downward dog, or I feel like I need one more warrior pose, or I feel like I need to do the tree pose one more time, or I feel like I need to do forward bend and stay here a couple more breaths. I'm not feeling the release of my back yet. There's no pressure. And then you're turning into what your body is telling you.
Mm.
And for me, that is what really makes the difference
I'm going to
when
take
it
that in.
comes. And I like, if probably a yoga instructor came and said, hey, you're not doing that position right, but I do the best I can. I look at it and I just listen to my body. So
Absolutely.
after I do my yoga practice, it's interesting because even during the yoga practice, I start feeling like I get downloads.
Mm-hmm.
So I do the same as you. I feel like I need to journal. Or what I do is the audio, because if I don't have a pen or I just got my nails done and it's hard for me to type, I will use the audio on the docs and then just talk into my docs and just write down or talk in my journal, talk into what I'm receiving that
That's
day,
a
that
good
inspiration.
that's a good idea too, because a lot of people have a block in their throat where they
Mm-hmm.
actually don't give themselves permission to hear their voice or to express it. And so even you having the option of like you speaking it out loud, like that's so powerful. That is such great insight that
It brings
anyone
it
can
all the way through
do.
the chakras. It brings it
Yeah.
from your sacral all the way up through the heart, through your throat, opens up
Yeah.
all the other ones. It brings in that creative flow
That's a great idea.
by speaking it out loud. So that's what works for me. And then after that, of course, I get ready for my day. And like you, the mind needs something to do.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the nature of the mind, is that the mind will take over your life if it's not disciplined. It's sort of like a spoiled teenager at times, where it's like, if you don't give it boundaries or structure, it tends to kind of turn in on itself. especially for someone with such an active mental body like me.
Mm-hmm.
So what I have found is that it's important for me to give it structure. And so my routines are very important to me. So I keep my mind aligned with my mission or my purpose or what my goals are, because if not, it goes on a tangent and it will turn in on itself. so
Mm.
so what I do is I do what you do too, where I have audiobooks, conversations I listen to in the background when I'm doing busy work. I have tools throughout my day, so that way I'm bringing myself back into my center. Even if I get pulled off, I have reminders with the people that I listen to. I love Muji. He's fantastic. There's so many wonderful spiritual teachers or audiobooks, things on shamanism as you. We
Mm-hmm.
love studying herbs. Herb is a great way to
Mm-hmm.
keep your mind busy and learning. Learning a language,
Yeah.
having high frequency music on, remembering to dance while you work or staying busy while you work. I feel like those things are so important to kind of like place as placeholders,
Yeah.
throughout the day. And at the end of the day, do something to bring me back again, sort of like bookmark. I have my beginning part of my day,
Mm.
but then I've also got something right at the end that brings me back. So I use, again, essential oils for my bed. Um, I'll listen to a talk or an audio or watch something that's more spiritually minded right before I go to bed. Even if I watch a movie or something else, sometimes I fall asleep, but I try
Mm-hmm.
to put something towards the end of the day to bring me back again. Thank you for watching Modern Sages. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We are so grateful for your support. We have an Instagram account as well as on Facebook. We have our podcast, which is the Modern Sages podcast.
And we are so excited to launch our Gifts of Spirit classes in our Modern Sages Mystery School.
Absolutely. Oh, we're so excited. So we're going to link the information below in the show notes for more information about our mystery school.